What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G, the two-gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. So welcome back to another daily Christmas edition of our Gaming Radar. How do you like that? I think I kind of got the title good now. Alright, so this is a game that is fairly appropriate because it is Dead of Winter. Not the base Dead of Winter. No, this is the, I believe it's the second expansion now. The Long Night was the first one. And now the one on my radar, because the first two were so epically amazing, now we have Warring Colonies. Why don't you meet me down the table? You better grab a coat, because it's darn cold out there, my friends. And let's talk about this great game. Thank you for joining me down here at the table for another daily edition of our Gaming Radar, our daily edition for the Christmas holiday end-of-year season. So now, this is a game, as I was saying, I have the first two. I have the core game, and then I have the standalone expansion. Now, I was a little bit excited, and I did forget to actually mention in the intro that this is not really a standalone by itself. It's an add-on that can be added on to either of the two first games that came out, the Dead of Winter or the Long Night. And if you have both of these, you can really open up the game with this new Warring Colonies edition. So this is by Plaid Games, and this edition is usable with both of them. You can mix them up together, especially if you're going to want to play the what do they call it? The Warring Colonies module or the Lone Wolf. Now, if you have both of the games, you can play either of these as well also. And that's really exciting because this game is about hard decisions. First and foremost, this game is about surviving by making the hardest decisions sometimes you have to make. We were playing a game, and I mentioned this during the Tabletop Takeout Tuesday, I think it was, for the Dead of Winter. And there was one time where food was stolen by some of the survivors. Because besides your group of survivors, you also have these helpless survivors that don't really count for anything, but they take up food and resources, and sometimes, according to crossroad cards, there can be problems with them. And in this time, they stole food because they didn't think we were dishing out enough food for everyone. And the decision, I believe, basically came down to either throwing them out of the colony or letting them get away with it. And I threw them out of the colony. Because you have to set rules and regulations and for survival, especially in a situation like the game is set up. So if I had let them get away with it, then that would send the message that everyone would be able to get away with it. So the game it's about hard decisions. And this mini expansion sort of pack comes with more than a dozen of new survivors that you can pick and choose from, new item cards, new crisis cards, and most importantly, new crossroad cards. It's those crossroad cards that really make some decisions tough to make. Now, this also can handle a lot more players than the first two can. This can handle up to 11 players. And the reason for this is, by the title, obviously, it's more of a head-to-head one team versus another aspect, because your colony is at odds with another colony. Both of you need the same resources for surviving, and both of you have many of the same missions and goals. So in order to win, or just to survive, you have to do better than the other person. And that's what opens this game up to almost a party level game. I mean, it's still going to take you about 2 hours to play. Most party games are a little quicker than that. But it's going to open it up, and you're going to have more people at the table for Dead of Winter if you get this expansion than you've ever had than you've ever had before. So there's a very interesting twist in this. There's a very interesting twist that some of the crisis cards, when you're dealing with the warring colonies, team versus team, there are some of the crisis cards that you actually are going to be forced to work together on, even though ultimately your overall goals are at odds with each other. There's also crisis cards that are going to put you in more direct conflict with each other. So the yo-yo of back and forth between helping each other and screwing each other over, it sounds like it's going to be even more fun. Adding this aspect onto the game as it already plays out, it's going to be a madhouse. Now, this game doesn't use miniatures. It does use some really great standees. And one of the reasons I like them is because not only the art is really good to look at, but the standees are character shaped. So if a character is kneeling down investigating something, then it's going to have the outline of their body in the kneeling down position. You know, if they're holding something and they're like then that's the way the standee is going to be cut. So it gives this optical illusion where a standard. What do I have to show off here about it? Nothing. But sometimes they just. That's it. It's just it's almost like a headstone, with a picture on it, and that's okay. I don't mind that. The Secrets of the Lost Tomb, and if you buy the lowest level base version of Secrets of the Lost Station, that's what you're going to end up getting, and it's okay. But when they're cut out, when they're silhouette cut, it adds something. It makes them, I don't know, nicer? That's not really the word. It makes it easier to look at, makes it more realistic to look at, and I like that. And they do a great job with the art on all of these standees, and the standees for the zombies as well. So if you have Dead of Winter, or if you have Dead of Winter: The Long Night, everything I've read, everything I've seen, everything I've been told, this expansion is a must. And if you don't have Dead of Winter yet, buying either one of the standalone games, Dead of Winter or The Long Night, you get this with it, and it's going to double your game. So I already have both of them, so I guess it's going to quadruple my game. All right, thank you for taking a few minutes to check me out and see what I had to say is worthy of being on the Game Radar. And I do think this is worthy of being on your Game Radar if you are a zombie fan or just a general horror fan. But if you're a zombie fan, this is the game you've been looking for. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, this game feels more like The Walking Dead than Walking Dead games I've played. So you're going to like this game. So thank you very much for following us on Facebook, for heading over to Twitter and checking us out there. And thank you so much for going to Instagram and seeing what's going on over there. Thank you so much for subscribing to us here on YouTube, for liking, for commenting, for sharing our videos. Thank you so much for sharing our videos. And also thank you for going over to our Zazzle store and seeing what kind of cool, nerdy gaming merchandise, t-shirts, hats, mugs. I got a dwarven cooking apron going on over there. So thank you for checking that out. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G. The Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming. And my friends, I'm out of here.